Hey Taurus, how y'all doing? Welcome. We're going to be doing your February general reading here. So I just came out of meditation for y'all, and it was short but super sweet. I saw Frank Sinatra holding a golden microphone singing My Way. I did it my way. Then I saw an image of basically you guys, the Taurian collective as Frank Sinatra, holding this golden microphone. And as you sung My Way, I saw all of these rainbows. I mean, please, I'm completely sober, people, but this is what I saw. The music notes started to physicalize and form into rainbows, which turned into butterflies. And then I saw a camera go off. Picture was being taken, and then I saw an image of a character from a show, and it doesn't matter if you haven't seen it, I'll break it down, called The Boys. It's on Amazon. And The Boys, there's a character in this, it's a female character called Starlight. And Starlight joins this, group of well, it's not the group of the boys, but basically gets a job and has to conform and is made to conform at the very beginning and go outside of who she really is. And it's only when she drops that, realizes that she had all the power all along, that she goes, you know what, no, I'm gonna do things my way and be me. And then she just sort of transforms and becomes a whole different energy. But she had to be made to conform in order to dig within and truly do things her way. Then I saw images of shamrocks and four-leaf clovers, and I saw March, and then I saw you guys wink at me, like I was watching a movie, kind of wink at me, and I saw the word lucky. So it does feel like very Empress energy but I feel like and I've been feeling these with some of the readings. I don't know why, but it feels like I'm reading for February into March. Feels very particular. Specifically, and this is coming up for you, came up for someone else, I think Gemini as well, where it feels like there's an emphasis on between now into the spring equinox on March 21st. It feels like Empress energy, birthing what you put into motion into physical manifestation land. Also an emphasis on your unique self. There is so much good. Okay, I'm seeing a really interesting image. I don't even really know who this person is. I stumbled upon them really randomly. I guess spirit led me there. I don't know. But I don't know any of their songs. I just literally saw their social media and saw a video. So they're called, if anybody knows who this is, I'm obsessed. But I saw this video of this, I guess he's a singer musician called Youngblood. And Youngblood he's a biological male who is very much in his own energy, very unique, and looks like he loves to dress in women's clothing and wear makeup, but also identifies with his male energy as well. So he's not one thing. He identifies as himself, and I saw a video where he was talking about that. He's like, no, I'm just me. I'm not this or that or this and that, I am me. And he was talking about how he rose to fame and popularity. I could be wrong about the specifics. I really don't know much about him. I think I'm a little out of his age demographic, darlings, not to age myself, but yes, he feels like he's for the chillins. But he was talking about how he rose to popularity because he was just himself. He put out videos of himself, wearing his best life clothes and being his gender-bending self, and that was what led him to success. That and his music is great, right? So it was he goes, my audience found me. The people who understood me found me. And that was the good in me not going to a record label, being made to conform and changing who I was. That's why my fans really love me, because my people found me and that's how I started. So by the time I got to the record labels, there was no trying to conform me because I would have lost my fan base. I feel like that is a very important message. So you got the crow here, which, hi and hello. Crow, hi. Crow equates to two different energies for me. First of all, it's about the high priestess energy, right? Which is being unlocked with your intuition, your inner sight, delving within and going, okay, what I desire, is that of my highest and best good, or is it of my ego? Is it what someone else wants for me? Let me just do a check-in with that before I move forward into the Empress energy, which comes after the high priestess, number 3, right? And manifesting that into the world. I just saw 444 on the timer, which brings me to the point that the crow is also about synchronicities, repeating numbers, magic, symbols. Whenever the crow comes up for you, you're going to see a lot of songs that mean something, or hear a lot of songs, I guess you'd say, right? Repeating patterns, synchronicities, signs. That's the thing. It's the universe is sending you signs and symbols that want to be noticed. The crow also equates to a magician-like energy, which is a very masculine forward energy, which is about, manifesting actively, right? So I like that for you because the crow is also a very boisterous character, right? It won't be ignored. It's very boisterous and out loud and will call up in your face and ain't shy at all. They are who they are, out loud. And that's such a beautiful energy. I feel like there is such good luck that comes to you from leading with what makes you uniquely you. And that is, I'm just obsessed with that. See what's going on. Ooh. So we're starting off with the Tower here. No subtleties here, darlings. So remember, this is your past energy coming in that may influence the present, right? So the Tower is very much about big change, right? Big change, big sudden change. This is a rerouting of your path. Right? This is what happens when, we're moving along in one direction and maybe we veered off the course a bit. Maybe we, delayed something here or there. We made a choice out of fear instead of love, right? Because that's really what prompts the Towers coming in is when we make choices out of fear and not love, right? Which is also faith. The Tower comes in and reroutes us, right? This is also a termite mound here as well, which speaks of matters of the home and foundation. You could have some changes around your home happening or having had happen where it was a change in residence or someone new coming to live with you. Anything, around the home that was altered. If not, definitely the Tower is something where what it was is no longer. There was a big shift that happens that is likely unexpected in nature. Now, for some of you guys, I'm hearing the words creative genius because I'm really drawn to the lightning here as well. Sometimes when the Tower comes in, this is also like, whoa, you have a realization or you get an idea for something that is so big that is going to, because you got that idea or inspiration, change your path ahead. Right? So sometimes it's a prompting to change your path. Sometimes it's your path being changed for you. Okay? Yas. All right. Ooh, wow. Okay, Taurus. Just not subtle today with the death key. What is this carnage? No, I love this. So the death key very much speaks of, transformation. This is Scorpio energy, right? Actually, technically, these are both Scorpio energy. Scorpio is very much about, it's interesting because I want to talk about, Scorpios have a reputation for being very particular and even peculiar, right? And I say that with all the love in the world, right? But they definitely have their own vibe, right? So I like that this is shown this way with the condor as well, because this also speaks of rising again and rebirth from the ruins of what was or who you were. I feel like someone has killed off either conformity or worrying about things that they can't control. They're choosing to do things differently and they're rising transformed because of it. Yeah. Those of you that are in lines of work where you either have a sort of platform where you influence people or you have something to say or it's a business that is yours and you run it as you, I'm getting a very particular message. How do I say this? Be duly discerning of those who either want to fund you, help collaborate with you on a project, partner with you on something, or even your parents or figures of authority that have advice for you that may feel counter to what you intuitively feel is of your highest and best path. You must do things your way. And I feel like the signs and symbols are going to come in around that and say like, hey, mom and daddy's saying it's smart if I do X, Y, and Z, but everything, the signs, the symbols, my soul is telling me to do BZW. Even though it doesn't necessarily make common sense on the surface, I must follow my feeling around it. Because Scorpio energy is very intuitive, right? Following the feeling as well, Taurus. Following the feeling, doing it your way. Yes. Judgment. No surprise here. So the tagline of this key is look back with pleasure. This is, actively participating in a review of the past, right? And coming from a place of discernment and going, how I've done things before, the choices that I've made, where did they lead me? What did listening to everybody else's advice other than my own lead me? What did this choice, it's kind of a life review, the judgment key. And then what comes after this, right, is the world key, which is the happy completion of that cycle. Well, it's not always happy, but it is a completion. And sometimes there's happiness in the completion itself. Real talk, right? For sure. I'm also getting a sense of childhood and past relationships and past patterns. I feel like there's an aspect of you there's an aspect of either changing traditions or creating new traditions. Within for yourself, within for your family, whatever have you. Tower. Use your voice, use your words, stay true to what you know to be right for you and yours, right? Oh, the magician. We were talking about the magician, weren't we, though? So remember when I said that sometimes the tower is, getting that bolt of realization or an opportunity or clarity around something or idea that transforms your path ahead because that happened? Yeah, beautiful with the magician here, right? So this is you, again, we were talking about it with the crow energy here as well. This is you being an active participant and going, this is what I want, and I'm laying the groundwork for it. And then using all the tools at your disposal to help make it happen, right? There is a highly vibrational, almost electric energy here for you around manifestation and going for it. It's a very confident, very forward, very active energy. It does not feel quiet and reflective and like inner movement and stillness. It feels incredibly active, like the crow, incredibly vocal and incredibly, how do we say this? Not obvious, but like maybe obvious actually, but like blatant, out loud, in front. First in the queue, right? Feels like that. It feels like that. There also could be an aspect of this that's happening within for you, either after hours or on your own or through journaling or vision boarding. It could be something, an idea or a path that you're considering that you're keeping to yourself at first before sharing it. If that aspect relates to you, that's beautiful because then you allow it to gestate within you before exposing it to the opinions of others, right? I feel like that's usually a good idea. Okay, so we have the Hermit here. Just as I said, it didn't feel quiet and contemplative, but this is really interesting though because the Hermit is an active energy, but it's from a particular lens of seeking enlightenment and information and clarity. So the Hermit, Virgo energy, right? In this lantern, that is the star from the star key, which is Aquarius energy. Now, we are in Aquarius season, which means, and I would definitely watch the Aquarius reading, because whatever season we're in, that energy is going to affect the whole, right? So this lantern here, especially as it equates to the death key, I do feel like there's an aspect of, remember when I said doing things your own way and forging your own path ahead and getting very clear on with the judgment key coming up here, or it was like, what choices led me to what point? What could I have done differently so that I can move forward, incorporating this information so that I am learning, truly learning from the benefit of my experience. Because I don't necessarily want to repeat myself if the certain steps I took led to different results, but I feel like this is calling you to be very conscious of the choices that you make and be mindful around it. But it's also, I keep hearing this, be mindful of who you listen to. Now, it could be for some of you that you're asked to be mindful of your own thoughts. Are you engaging in self-sabotage thinking or patterns of behavior? Are you engaging in negative self-talk? Are you experiencing kind of that analysis paralysis or disasterized thinking that can turn into self-fulfilling prophecy? You're being asked to, with the condor standing on all these guts and the hermit here going into the depths to find that inspiration and clarity, to excavate to the core of your motivations and experience. Really see yourself clearly so that you can go ahead without repeating anything that you don't want to repeat. But I also feel like a lot of this is you shedding a lot of the ideas or expectations that have been placed on you, either by yourself to fit into a certain mold or by society where they expect you to fit a certain mold, right? Can you lead with you exactly who you are? Now, that is not as easy as snapping your fingers, darlings. Like, it's not. Like, maybe if you fit into a conventional mold, naturally, great, but boring. But, do you? But there's an aspect here too with the octopus, because I love that this hermit is shown as like with an octopus lower half. Octopus for me equates to a 9 of Cups energy, which is wish fulfillment, which is also doing the most. I feel like this is an aspect of you being yourself on 10. I want you to observe yourself. If you ever find yourself, over the course of this next time period, editing yourself or avoiding certain topics to avoid conflict, or leaving certain parts of stories out because I don't want to go there with this person, or, I don't want to reveal this, or I'm covering up certain aspects of myself. I just saw someone covering up a tattoo. Maybe going to a family dinner or something, covering up it's like, what are you, it's like allow, and of course, use your discernment within that. That can definitely, be an image or a, example or symbol, but it's really about, in what ways can you challenge yourself to really reconsider, right, certain patterns, beliefs, or expectations within and of yourself that you inherited that are not yours, that also go against who you are on a soul level, right? I feel like, and I say this with all the love in the world, I do feel like this could be a rude awakening for some of you. You might be surprised around some of this, but I honestly feel like what lies on the other side of this, they're taking me back to those shamrocks. It's like with Youngblood, right? Where he found his audience by leading with his truest self. And there's something about that. I feel like you're gonna find a new friend group. You're gonna, find a new job or find whatever if you lead with yourself, right? If you're applying for a job, right, and this is just an example, and you feel the need to hide your social media, or you feel the need to edit your social media, that is a clue that that's likely not the right job for you. Or why do you feel the need to do that? Why is who you are inherently on your social media not vibing with this job that you're applying for? What is that discord? I'm saying notice these things, right? Just notice them. It feels important. Judgment. Oh, hey. 9 of Swords. Yes, darlings. So 9 of Swords, this is Dreamtime messages, again, with the crow here and the messages and the symbols and the signs and wonders, right? So this is Dreamtime messages, but this is also a lack of sleep because there's a lot of mental activity going on that it keeps you from, getting some good shut-eye. I have to tell you, I'm tapping into a group of you guys where this is unfounded fear. Either that the past is going to repeat itself or something that is a long-held desire is never going to come to fruition or manifestation. I'm hearing calm and clear your mind, Palace. Okay, Taurus, calm and clear your mind, Palace. It feels incredibly important for you to calm and clear your mind, Palace. Okay? It feels very, 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 very important. Very important. I'm really drawn to the fact that this mermaid here is holding this gold jewelry, like these gold baubles. And I saw that gold microphone. Right? It almost feels like the best parts of you or the best potential, right, is quite literally right in front of you. But I'm hearing, be wary of self-fulfilling prophecies or thinking yourself or worrying yourself about things that really are unfounded. I'm hearing unfounded fears, unneeded anxiety, fear of the past repeating itself, or fear of not being accepted for who you truly are. I feel for some of you guys, I'm seeing someone actually walk out of this like it's a closet. Walking out of the closet, coming out of the closet, revealing something about yourself or what you do or something you've created. It's lead with that. Really observe yourself around your relationship to some parts of you that may not fit into a mold that your family considers to be, quote, right, or society considers to be, quote, acceptable, right? I do feel like for other parts of you, there's something that you're working on or something that you're going to manifest, especially because I saw Frank Sinatra. Obviously like singer, like artistry. There's something that wants to be manifested, because I got that Empress energy too as well, that is going to be shown to you in Dreamtime messages. And I feel like it has something to do with, it was either something related to your past that you're being inspired around to kind of excavate and bring back to life in the future through a creative lens or job prospect, right? For example, this could be like, I'm trying to manifest a new line of work. Either what I'm applying for I'm not getting, or I'm not sure which direction to go, or nothing, I don't know about this. And then you have like with the crow, signs and symbols and really strong dreams where you are, sitting there, I don't know, something you used to love to do is, let's go with this, water. Where you're just swimming and swimming and swimming and swimming and swimming. You just see yourself swimming like you used to do as a kid, and you're going, why? In the judgment with the past, right? Why do I keep dreaming that I'm swimming? And then I feel like everywhere I go, I'm seeing like signs around like swimming pool openings and like, getting my feet wet and like whatever that is for you, right? And then you happen upon a job that is, just for an example, has to do with managing, I don't know, like a recreation center, but you're heading up like the swim division or something, or you're an aquarium or something to do with water, or having to do with like, whatever this is, a spa where, they specialize in hydro water skin treatment. I don't know. Something like that. You'll know it when you see it type deal, right? So there are messages that want to come through to you. It does feel like something that's a bit obvious, or once you see it, it's like, or dream it, or realize it, or see signs around it. And this could be even a friend calling and being like, oh my God, do you remember when we were 7 and we used to go hide in the woods and play for hours, and how you were always in a really good mood after, and you just never could get enough of the woods? And then you're like, oh my God, I want to be a landscaper. Or, oh my God, like, how can I spend more time in the woods? Oh my God, here's a job offer for a park ranger. Whatever that is for you, right? There's information in that, right? And again, for the other group of you, I do feel like this is kind of like looking at where you've come from, right? And being very honest with yourself about, what choices led me to a desired outcome and what choices didn't. At what times did I take advice of others that led me astray? When did I go against my intuition and what I felt and knew to be true? It's very important to ask yourself that, right? All right. Let's go and get you an oracle. I want one of these. Give this a good shuffle me buffle. Some of you guys, there's someone I'm clicking into that has a gift around counseling or giving advice or making others feel better through either their work or what they say, what they post. There's someone who has a gift with that, and there's a lot more to be mined from that, a lot more opportunity around that may come to light. Okay. I'm hearing empowerment. Ooh, did you see how that just like flipped to do? Ooh, oh my God, I love. So first of all, we got adventure, South adventure, which I'm obsessed with. By the way, holler to my people in the South. Hello. So we have the number 2 key here, right? Which is also number 2 with the High Priestess, right? So that's really cool. I associate the crow with the number 5, but the High Priestess is the 2nd key. And so I like that 2 is coming up, and it's adventure. And I'm really upset. I think this is like a, what is this? Like a sort of like seafaring device. I really, really love this, but I'm really drawn to the perspective aspect of it. It's like a point of perspective. Do you see this? That is a lady. Yeah. See this lady like holding this red umbrella, living her best life? You know what I'm thinking about when I see this? Do you remember at the end of Wizard of Oz? After Dorothy goes on her adventure with her red slippers that she is wearing, right? And Glinda says to her, like, you've had the power inside of you all along to go home. You've had the answers all inside of you all along. It's always been you and coming from you. I feel like that is really apt around this. Remember what we've been talking about, how you are your own best counsel and going with what you know and feel to be right for you. Be wary of, maybe even notice if you're going to others for advice a little too much, right? In what ways do you look outside of yourself for advice or validation or comfort, right? There's a call to go with them right now with the crow and the high priestess, right? Not because it's the right thing to do, quote, not because it's responsible or mature, but because that is going to yield the most clarity. You quite literally know what's best during this time. And the adventure that lies ahead for you on the other side of this is so ripe. I'm so upset. I keep hearing perspective point. See the star in the sky, and we're talking about Aquarius energy with the lantern, right? I keep hearing it, perspective point. I'm seeing the image of a photographer. So let's talk about art and photography briefly. So I feel like a really great photographer where you can be standing next to a photographer looking at the exact same thing. Let's say you're looking at, a meadow. And you see it and you see a meadow, right? But then the photographer takes a picture and you see the picture and you see it in a completely new way through that perspective point and through the photographer's eye, their artistry, their unique viewpoint. And that's what I'm getting with this in a really big way, is your unique viewpoint and your unique self is the key to this adventure that you're embarking on throughout this. And I feel like this is for the year as well, right? Also, red is the color of the root chakra, which speaks of our relationship to money, work, finance, and our bodies, right? This is really beautiful, Taurus. Perspective point, back to that judgment key at 9 of Swords, right? It's really about becoming clear on your perspective and not seeking answers or clarity anywhere other than inside of yourself. Your higher self is going to be the one that is sending these signs and symbols. So even when these signs and symbols seemingly appear outside of yourself, it's actually coming from you, right? There aren't fairies flying around making these signs and symbols appear for you. Well, I mean, maybe. No, but really it's your higher self, okay? Whenever someone says, like, I asked for a sign of bumblebees and then bumblebees are everywhere and it's all that, that's you. That's your higher self doing that because you are the great creator, right? Doing it your way. Frank Sinatra was known as Baby Blue Eyes. Eyes, point of perspective, your vision. Obsessed. I love it. All right, Taurus. Woo! This is your February general reading. I so hope that this helped and resonated. If so, please do let me know in the comments below. I absolutely love reading your comments. And with that being said, just thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, and most of all, thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.